Hi, my name is Marietta Mahani, and this week's Aqua Tip focus is going to be on the scissor through. What on earth is a scissor through? So we start with one leg back, one leg forward. So I'm starting with my right leg back. It's my right leg. It looks left to you. So my right leg back and my right arm in front, okay? So I've got the leg at the back, same arm is to the front. And I start in this position and I bring the right leg forward and come back, and I do the same thing with the right arm. So here we go, I'll do several in a row. Oh my God, it's one of my most favorite moves ever. And let me tell you what I love about it. There's something that's, when you get it going, it feels so cool to do. You're lifting yourself up out of the water. It's a really nice cardio move. It does require a little bit of coordination. You know, I've seen people, they sort of struggle a little bit. But let's talk about the technique and how to do it. So you have to make sure people are set up correctly. So they have the opposite arm, it's opposite arm to leg. So if I've got my left leg forward, it's my right arm in front. But for some people, it makes more sense if you say, put the same side, arm forward and leg back. And it helps. It can help, right? So you've got the arm forward, you pull through and you come back. Now this requires momentum. The people can't go up and then stop. They can't go up, stop, up, stop. It's hard work because you've got no inertia. So you want to make sure that they're moving consistently up and down. Okay, so that's number one. Then number two, fingers are open. So I've got my fingers spread open and I am turning my palms through the water. I am turning my palms through the water. So check out my hands as they go through the water. So I'm able to drag the water through, and so my upper body is actually pulling me through the water. It's great because my palms are pushing forwards, and you should see that amount of turbulence. Now, it's important that you're bouncing off the toes, but it's more about the right foot, the rear foot that you start with, that you push off the toe. So you can't ask people to put that heel down, although you could land with your left heel on the bottom of the pool in this situation. Yeah, and you would put your left foot down to the bottom of the pool. So left foot goes down, but you're bouncing off the rear toe. Okay, so the rear toe is taking you up. The most important part is the posture, because I've seen people do it like this. So it's interesting how some people use their head to try and create movement in the water. And what they need to really do is focus on keeping their head going straight up, so they're lifting up at the crown of their head. And you'll get great height. It's fantastic. So clearly it's an exercise that only gets repeated on one side. So then of course you need to teach them how to do it on the opposite side. So left leg back, left arm in front. Here we go. Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite moves to do. It just feels, I know, really graceful. It requires a bit of effort. And it's quite challenging to teach on pool deck, which I'll show you how to do later. But it's a great cardio exercise. And it's a great one-sided exercise. And then, of course, you've got the same movement pattern on the opposite side. Cross-country ski, because it's bilateral, you know, you're doing it bilaterally, and then you have to move on to something else. With this move, you do it on one side, and then you need to stop and then change the position and do it on the opposite side. So you might like to have a move that's in between. It could be cross-country ski, so you can go up and back, and then do cross-country ski, and then they switch legs. Cross-country ski, and they switch legs. 1, 2, 3, up, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, and then off they go. So cool workout, and that's this week's Aqua tip. The scissor through is a fantastic exercise. As I mentioned in the pool, it's one of my favorites. But demonstrating it on land is something else. And if we're not all athletic, it's really hard to demonstrate. Basically what you're doing is starting off with the same leg back as the arm, and you're jumping so that you're bringing that back leg forward and back. And because you're on land, and you might be able to demonstrate, but you can't get up high enough to really show it so that the whole class, if you've got a big group of people, can actually see it, because it's a very quick movement pattern. And usually I can do it on one side, but not so well on the opposite side. The opposite sides are not as strong. And my coordination is not as good. That's why the Aqua frame is super useful. And it's useful because I use it this way. I have it facing so that I'm looking at the back of the frame. I have one leg to the back, and I can start to demonstrate. This is how I teach it. Everybody take your right arm forward, right leg back, and what we're going to do is you're going to jump up and you're going to pull the right arm back as your right leg kicks forward and back. Now remember to bounce off the toes and try to lift yourself up vertically. So you're not leaning forwards, you're lifting yourself up vertically. Fingers are open, drag through the water, keeping your arms as straight as you possibly can. It's a lot. And then of course you need to demonstrate on the other side. I have also demonstrated this with my back to the class, because sometimes it's easier for them to see how this leg will now return to the back, because often they get confused with it being a cross-country ski, and so they're doing cross-country ski, but they're looking around trying to work out why everyone's moving differently, and they're doing the cross-country rebound. That means that you've got to show them leg to the back, side on, facing away from them so they see the back of you, whatever makes it clearer. And I often demonstrate more than once. And then there was that combination, right? We had cross-country ski, 1, 2, 3, 4, and jump, jump, jump. Take the leg to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, and cross-country ski. And with the frame, it's so easy to demonstrate that. You don't feel like you've got, with your arms, like what are you supposed to do? Like cross-country ski, now take your back leg forward. It all looks the same. You have to get really creative with your verbal cueing, but it all looks the same no matter what you're trying to do. Legs forward and back, like it doesn't make sense. You really need to be able to elevate yourself onto something, and the frame makes it safe and it's appropriate for this type of activity. But such a great move that you really want to find a way to be able to communicate this effectively to your participants. And that is this week's Aqua tip.